What's going on, guys? Good morning. Welcome back to another pre-market live stream here with the Everyday Growth Advisors. I hope you guys are having a good morning. Nice little CPI reading there. Came in a little cooler than expected by 0.1% or 10 basis points. That's sending this market up into squeeze mode. Hopefully we will see 41.80 as per our plan on the newsletter this week. We have been kind of waiting for this moment to get more information, more data to show us that CPI is heading further down. Now we just need to see unemployment tick up, and then we will see a nice rally in risk assets. I think the kind of situation here is kind of good for bulls who have been waiting on the sidelines for this new piece of news. Now, right before we jump and start to wave our pom-poms because we feel that our confirmation bias has been quelched, we need to be aware that this market has been very volatile. And so tomorrow when PPI comes out, we also have to be aware that this market could very well dump back down if PPI comes out worse than expected, because on the producer side, that's going to be a lot. On the supply side, which is where we've been seeing a lot of rampant inflation, not to mention that has been the main focus of the Fed on the supply side. So heading into tomorrow, we still have a lot of leg room here to cover. If we can get up to 41.80 and potentially reject today, that would be a good idea for a potential short trade. I will be happy to take some short exposure up here just for a pullback play. But I think more than anything, we all know that this is going to lead to some kind of a consolidation for a little while. So expect one of these moves where we move up and then move into a bull flag of some kind in the next coming sessions. Now, just moving into the macro part of things, we have another potential Fed hike, which is next month. The market's pricing in a potential Fed hike. I said potential, meaning that it's not confirmed. We'll see just how the bond market reacts in this next couple of days. As you can see, all the yields here across the board falling. Anything above the 2 months yield is falling back down, which is good. This means that people are going and flocking towards bonds again, and they're buying up those bonds that people didn't really want in the short term. This is a good sign, especially in the 5-year, you can see, and the 3-year. This is where majority of the bonds have been kind of bought into this morning. Remember, these are the yields. So when yields come down, prices of the bond come up. That means people are buying bonds, right? And they're expecting that the Fed is going to start, performing quantitative easing sooner than expected. Remember that the bond market will tell you a lot about what you need to know in the equity market. And this is the plumbing of the system in terms of credit and in terms of debt. So you have to follow along with what the bond market is doing, what the bond market is saying, as well as the horizon of what they're talking about. So anything from the 2-year all the way to the 10-year today saw a lot of buying. Just this pre-market here, with the 3-year being the most bought bond, as it is up about, it's down about 3% or so. So that's something that we will be keeping our eyes on through the session. Let's also have a look at the dollar index, which is falling further here. This gives an exacerbates the situation in which we see equity prices being released a little bit. It also assists with discount rates. And so that is another thing. Remember that when the 10-year bond yield comes down, that also allows for equity pricing models to account for those discount rates to be lower, which kind of allows for the valuations to come a little further higher. And that is naturally going to be a driving force of the market in terms of the price for majority of these stocks. Now, one of the important sectors that we've been putting on the back burner for a while is small and mid caps. And as this market continues to see inflation go down and starts to see a little bit of this action come back, we will be looking to take some exposure in IWM to the upside, only if we can get a nice clean break above 180, which has been the key problematic level in the past couple of weeks. This range over here has not been broken, therefore we have not been able to take any bullish positions on this. Neither have we been able to take bearish positions. We've been just chopping back and forth like a ping pong between these two zones at 169 and 180 roughly, right? On the NASDAQ, we obviously have a different scenario here altogether. NASDAQ has been super bullish. We have been talking about this for weeks now, that a lot of tech stocks have been the choice for investors to flock to during this time, because they have been posting very superior earnings, and also at the same time have been kind of padding up their balance sheets and performing stock buybacks. So a lot of this equity pricing in the NASDAQ specifically has been very strong, and we continue to see that strength into today. The strength into today, as I've mentioned, NASDAQ being strong, 13,560-ish or 13,700 is going to be a key level that we will backtest, which is the highs of August 2022. So this will be a key level that we'll be heading up to, and then we'll see how the market reacts there in the coming days, right, or the coming sessions. Then on top of that, you have gold, which is seeing a little bit of has been seeing a little bit of interest, but we have not really been looking at this. What's going on? Hi Santosh, hi Mark. PVH bull flag on 4-hour, reported good earnings last quarter, $85 call. Okay, let me have a look at that in a little bit. Thank you for your request. For those of you that have any chart requests, go ahead, put it in the chat right now so I can take a look at it, and I will do it for you right after I'm done with my analysis. So you can see semiconductors getting a little bit of a breather here. Of course, pre-market, this has been kind of decimated past couple of sessions. We saw a little bit of a pullback here, and they haven't really been able to recover strongly, but we want to see a clear break above this 125.50 level on SMH for us to see that further reclaim of about 127, 128, and then further higher into the 130s for that ultimate test in this 140 level here. On top of that, you have NVDA, which has been flirting with this very important level here at around 290 to 89 pretty much. And AMD, which has been also kind of on the uptick here off a strong bounce from this upward channel that it has been in. Very, very strong kind of bounce on AMD on some catalyst news a couple of days back. There was news that AMD was gonna have some funding from Microsoft to carry on some of its chipsets and things like that. So that's where it got its boost from. Not to mention Coinbase, which was selling off very aggressively and has now come back a little bit here for a potential swing above 65. So that's another thing I'm watching. Today I'm also watching CRM, one of my top watches here, heading into the session, potentially for a nice little rally into this 208, 209 level, which might give us about a $5 upside. We'll see how this plays out throughout the day. This has been bullish for the past couple of sessions. I've been talking about this for a while on the Discord with the AGA community, and that's something. Tesla also with a nice little gap up. Seen a lot of this since the bounce off the demand zone, which I spoke about multiple times on the live stream. This being a very key level down here at 146 and then 152 as a potential bounce zone. So we're seeing Tesla come up. Now remember, Tesla can still reject at 177, so don't get too happy and trigger happy to take this bullish position here. You still have to see how we're going to react to the market here as we go further higher here and start to interact with this 177 level. We'll have to read the tape during the intra-market hours and see where the price action is going to actually reverse on Tesla. With BABA, we're still waiting on CPI, PPI on China to make a defined move here. We did play 2 earnings plays yesterday, actually 3 earnings plays. One of them is yet to hit, but we took 3 of them. So one of them was Celsius. This is a beverage company, Celsius Holdings. I'm pretty sure many of you are familiar with it. We did a debit spread to the upside. We were hoping for an earnings beat, and that's exactly what we got. Nice little beat here. Beautiful play, up 11% on pre-market. So nice little win here. We took the 113, 114 debit spread. Beautiful, beautiful play. Stock's trading at about 120 now. So we are probably looking at a maxed out debit spread here for max gain. That's going to be a nice little win. Then the other one was HRB, which is HR Block. This is a famous accounting and tax brick and mortar business. We took $32 puts. Beautiful move down into $30.75, 6% move. It was further even down at about $30.20 or 30 cents earlier pre-market, but then this little CPI data kind of pushed it up a little bit, but not that much. So the $32 puts also going to pay massively with this one. Obviously not that much of an allocation on these. We go only $3,000. Well, for me specifically, I go $3,000 on all the earnings plays. Very, very light, right? And then we are waiting for Unity. This is the next one, so I'll give this to you guys for free. This is we are playing a 30-31 debit spread for a potential beat. For I believe it's going to report after the market today. So Unity yet to play out. I believe it's going to report earnings. Let me see. Yes, 10th May. Yeah, so after the market today. This debit spread is already up naturally. This debit spread is going to be at 30-31, so we'll hope that, if it beats, it's going to kind of get up into this upper range here and just continue blasting to the upside on Unity, hoping that it's going to kind of recover here strongly. So very excited for this one. Hopefully we can hit all 3 out of 3 this week, and that will be all the conclusive earnings plays for this week as we head towards the end of this week. Now, I haven't really taken much other positions this week because, price action has been stupid the past 2 trading days. A lot of just ranging, and now that CPI came out, we'll possibly see a potential rally in some of these stocks. Netflix also played up to the upside from our newsletter from this week. We didn't actually get that 316 bounce, but it just rallied out of nowhere. Looking for a potential rejection here off the 23.6 Fibonacci extension from this previous wave to see if we can come back down here and get some weakness. Microsoft and Apple both kind of seeing a little bit of weakness yesterday, and now obviously with CPI data kind of coming back up a little bit in the interim. But these two looks like they're maxed out in terms of saturation. Looks like a lot of distribution happening up here. So I wouldn't want to take any bullish positions on these two just yet until we get a nice little pullback on SPX and on NASDAQ. Okay, let's have a look at some of these plays that you guys are asking for. So PVH. Okay, what is this? PVH Corporation. What the heck do they do? Consumer non-durable apparel footwear. Okay, 5 billion market cap. That's a bit. You gotta be careful, man. Okay, let's see. Bull flag on the 4 hour. Okay, let's see. Where is that bull flag you're talking about? Is it really a bull flag though? Let's see. Is it really a bull flag? Let me see 1 second. Unfortunately, this is no longer a bull flag. So, quick little a way to know if something is still a bull flag after such a consolidative range. If something retraces 50% based on the Fibonacci retracement, if it retraces back 50% and touches the 50% Fibonacci level, that means that this is no longer a bull flag. It has retraced more than 50% or at 50%, which makes it no longer a flag. It makes it, because a flag ideally would bounce on the excuse me. A flag would ideally bounce on the 61.8 or the 78.6 rather than bouncing on the 50%, because this just means it's a deep retracement. So I wouldn't really take this as a bull flag, to be honest. But of course, you know, if you think that's something that you want to play and you want to take this to the upside, so you're talking about reported good earnings last quarter. So this was the gap up, and now it looks like it's consolidating. $85 calls for June 26 expiry for the ER run up, and the ER run up is you're saying on 31st May. So you're looking for a potential run up. Okay, I mean that's not a very bad play. More importantly than a bull flag here, you know, I'm inclined to think this is more of a pennant style trade, right? On the 4 hour, you can see this is kind of forming a little bit of a pennant. So that's what I would think of this as. You know, more of a kind of a pennant style trade where, you know, it's consolidating very, very tightly in this little range here, where it's kind of moving into this little squeeze action. So this is kind of what I'm seeing here, potentially coming back down here and then squeezing up and then here and then here and then eventually breaking either up or down. That's more feasible than looking at this as a bull flag. So Santosh, I would say wait for this to break either in each direction. Now, what are the two key pivots? Well, one of the key pivots are going to be obviously below here at 78.42. So that's going to be your downside pivot. Actually, a little further down from there. So just about here, right? About $78, I would say. $78. So 78. And then the upside pivot for a bullish price action, I would say you would have to wait pretty far, actually. This is going to be the upside pivot here at $91, 91 or something. In between, it could chop around quite a fair bit. So my advice is don't go for a play here where, you know, you're going to be caught between this chop. Wait for either the break to the upside, wait for the break to the downside. And that'll give you a more clear understanding of where supply and demand is. You can see a lot of supply comes in around here, right, in this area. And then a lot of demand comes in here, right? And a lot of demand comes in here as well. So you want to wait for this to happen, or you want to wait for this to happen, right? So that's kind of how I would play it. Let the price action tell you what's about to happen. And yeah, that's my 2 cents on this. I wouldn't try to guess where it's going to go from here, though. It's a risky play. Of course, if you see a strong bounce around $78 though, I think, you know, if you see a nice little reversal off this bottom trend line plus the $78 level, which has been past demand, I think that would be a nice little spot for you to take a bullish position, though, because you'll be between this range, but then you would be on the bottom part of this range. So you can have pretty tight risk off, like around 76, right? $2 risk off, and then take a nice bullish position up into the 88 or so. Right? That's a nice risk-reward ratio. That's the way I would structure that trade. Remember, that's the way we look at things. It's always risk-based, okay? Always risk-based. You never just put your finger in the air and then think to yourself, oh, I think this stock is going to move here. And then, boom, you take that play, right? So I'm just here to kind of give you a little bit of education, at the same time, help you make these decisions and trying to, you know, just make it a little more easier for you to understand. So I hope that's helpful. Okay, Lulu, next. This one has been in a nice big consolidation. Now, I do see what you're saying, potential breakout of this wedge pattern, right? It has seen very erratic price action lately. So, upside pivot on Lulu, I want to go only above 391 for a potential rally into the 410 level or 408 level, somewhere around here. The risk reward ratio for that, you have to keep a very tight risk off, like, you know, somewhere around 380. And then, you know, if you get that bounce once again, you can take that upside all the way to 410. That looks like a decent short swing trade, right? You want to still do about 30 days out expiry, though. Apart from that, this thing's been moving kind of sluggish for the past couple of sessions, so be careful with this. Just my 2 cents here. Zakima Wallace, I hope that's helpful for you. I think you might want to wait above 390 to make that move to the upside. That's just my 2 cents. If you want to wait for that downside, you got to wait way below here and trying to get this to the downside around, I want to say, 365, 366. That's going to be a key pivot point. So somewhere around here, boom, right? This is going to be the key pivot, and then your upside pivot is going to be above here, so here, right? So you want to wait till either break on either side. Upside pivot. The upside risk to reward ratio sucks, by the way. The downside risk to reward ratio is much nicer. So the bearish trade here on Lulu is much nicer than the bullish trade. That's my 2 cents. Okay, next one. BLK. Let's see. What's up, BT? I see some new names here. If you're new to this stream, tell me how new you are and how you found us. I want to hear from you guys. You know, tell me. And and also the fact that you're here, make sure you smash that like button if you enjoy the streams and you find this helpful. Sometimes I get caught up with life and sometimes I can't hold the streams. But when I do, I make sure that it's freaking worth it and I can give it my full attention. I'm a guy who likes to give everything 100%, 110%. And instead of, if I can't be around, I'm not going to hold a half-ass live stream because I want to be here. You know what I mean? So I rather be here and be in full presence and intentionally rather than just show up and just be here for the sake of being here. But if you're new to the stream, I want to hear from you. Tell me if you're new to the stream. I would like to hear from you. There's almost 20 plus of you guys here, so make sure, if you can, please hit that like button. It helps out the algorithm on YouTube a lot to reach more people. That's what we want to do. Reach more people, help people, and get you prepped ahead of the market open so you know what's going on. Okay, BLK, BT, can you be a bit more specific with what help you need here? Are you potentially looking at this double bottom? What's the move here? Like, what are you thinking about here? Because I need to know what you mean, what you want to know about BlackRock here, because personally, I don't like this chart a lot. You're stuck between a range. You're right in the middle of this range. There is a downside, there is an upside. Here, the risk to reward ratio on either side sucks. You take a downside position, you have risk getting trapped to the upside. You take an upside position, you risk getting rejected here and then get slammed to the downside. So I don't like this setup at all. In my opinion, I would avoid this with all my heart. Wait for either this to go to the upside or wait for this to go to the downside, and then you can make your play either here, 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 right? Either way. That's just my 2 cents. Visa. Okay. Ooh, this one's nice. I like it. Scotty, thank you. So Visa approaching a key pivot. This is a supply zone. And if it can break above this, then very likely to go for some all-time highs potentially. Above 238, right? 238 roughly. No, 237.65 or so. Looks to be like a good spot for this to break out. This 2 candlesticks on the weekly have really nice long legs. Sexy legs on those. So looking like it might actually potentially break out. It has tried to break out once before, then it got consolidated here. And now trying to break out above this as well. So it looks like an interesting one. I like this chart. It shows a lot of consolidation and strength from the bulls to try to secure this supply zone. And if it can actually break out here, I think it's going to break out and really rush up into this 250 level. So Scotty, I would definitely look at this once it breaks out. Wait for that retest of this level, and then you have your upside pivot into the 250, 255 level and beyond, right? If you want to know where the targets are from here, you'd have to wait for a rejection and then use the Fibonacci extension tool to find out, where's the next wave going to be. So I would kind of play it that way. Hey there, Tushal, can you take a look at Microsoft, please? I just joined your Discord. I'm looking at 310 calls for next week. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Welcome into the Discord, by the way. For those of you that don't know, how to join us on Discord, link is in the description. You can join for a free trial for 14 days and see if it's a fit for you if you want to be a part of the tribe and trade with us live, Monday to Friday. Okay, so I actually explained about Microsoft a little while back, but I'm going to explain it again. So I don't like the upside scenario on Microsoft, even though that this has been consolidating here for a while. It looks a bit distributive to me. What does that mean? It means that when buyers are starting to put the pressure on, I see a lot of selling pressure to create equilibrium, which is resulting in this range. And personally, I don't like this range here unless it breaks strongly above it or strongly below it. Trading in this range is just not a move, right? Because you can see we're stuck between these two price levels. And actually, the main price level here, it's this 311, right? 311 or 312. And then all the way down here to around, I want to say 303, right? So this is your range. Now, where you are right now sucks in taking a upside position or a downside position once again, right? You take an upside position, you get risked slamming to the downside. You take a downside position, you get risked slamming to the upside. So where you are in terms of this positioning here is a terrible spot to take either upside or downside. You want to wait till you are either here or here for you to take a trade, because then you have very tight risk management and you get the benefits of keeping yourself very slim risk off on either side for you to play the bigger move to the opposite direction, if that makes sense. So all in all, I don't like this Microsoft trade, and I mentioned it earlier. It looks more distributive to me, which means to say I'm expecting some kind of a markdown phase to commence in the next few sessions. That would go in line with SPX kind of failing to break 41.50 or rejecting at 41.80 if it rallies up here. And that will kind of give you the move that you are looking for. So that's all I have for you guys today. Godman, did you already cover Amazon? Oh, no, I did not cover Amazon. Actually, that's one of the ones I'm watching today. Looks like it has been holding up the market, with the market being kind of weak the past couple of days. And I will only take, Amazon if it honestly firmly breaks out of this like 110 level or something like that. Other than that, it doesn't look very appealing to me right now. It has made a move pre-market. I'll wait for a break above 110 or 111, and then I'll take that upside on Amazon. So I would like to wait a bit more time on Amazon before I actually take this upside move. Just going to have to wait and see how it plays out. All right. Any questions, comments, anything that you guys have to speak about, please go ahead, put it in the chat, talk about it. If you don't have any questions, smash the like button, and I'm going to jump on the Discord in a little bit to trade live with the team here. So I hope that you have a good trading session. It is probably going to be a great day to potentially take some trades. So I'll be jumping on and trying to make sense of this market. And yeah, I hope to see you guys on the trading floor, on Discord. Yeah, let's make some bread. And if not, I will see you guys back on another live stream. I've been a little busy this past couple of weeks because some developments have happened in my life. I will share more when I have more confirmations on things that I'm actually going through, and not to mention I'm going to be traveling quite a fair bit in the next couple of weeks. But be rest assured that I will be putting out videos and putting out my thoughts as much as I can on Discord and Instagram whenever I can, so that you guys have a good idea of where I am in terms of my thoughts. So if you enjoy the stream, then please keep coming back, share it with your friends, family, and yeah, we'll see you guys back on another time. Have a good one. Peace. Take care, and love you all.